It's either you're either going to give up or you're not.
A patient's determination and a surgical team's expertise.
Over the past 8 months, CBS 17's Maggie Newland has followed a local woman's journey from loss to hope.
This is going to change my life again.
Maggie had exclusive access to the surgery that made medical history in our state.
Deb Kelly's world was one adventure after another. Her two favorite things, travel and spending time with people she loves.
I have cousins up in Massachusetts, and we have cousins in Virginia. I have friends in Florida.
Very little slowed her down, so she didn't think twice when she started feeling a little off.
Easter Sunday of 2017, that evening I was not feeling well. I think I was kind of battling a little bit of a cold.
We thought maybe you were dehydrated, maybe it was the flu. We really had no idea. And that was 9 o'clock on Monday night. And on Tuesday morning at 7:30 a.m., I received a call that said she's going on life support.
She remained unconscious for days, her sister Michelle by her side. Doctors eventually determined Deb had an invasive form of strep.
I do remember waking up at one point and seeing my hands were bent over, sort of really, and they were black. I remember Michelle having to tell me, Deb, they have to amputate.
She lost both hands and both legs.
I don't think I realized what an independent person I was until this happened.
Before the infection, Deb loved her job as a news editor and producer in Baltimore, but she was ready for retirement. Instead, she found herself working to relearn the simplest things.
But I opened my makeup bag and I said, how can I do this? And, you know, I tried and tried and tried. And it was very difficult at first. But then I started to learn little tricks.
Each task painstakingly slow. And sometimes frustrating.
Trying to get a good angle to get it.
You want me to get it?
I think I can. See this piece here?
She learned to rely on her sister Michelle, with whom she's been close since childhood, despite a 10-year age difference.
I took care of her. My mother worked, and I took care of her quite a bit.
Gee, thanks, Deb.
Years later, their roles reversed. Together, the sisters celebrate every victory.
I couldn't do this yesterday.
After months of rehab, Deb learned to walk with prosthetics. That gave her back a little of her freedom.
But not having hands is just, it's awful. It's awful. I love to crochet and knit and sew and do crafts with the kids. And but there were those nights, you know, when I would just sit there and say, I would cry. I asked Michelle one time, do you think I would have been better off dead? And she brilliantly asked a question with a question and said, do you think you'd be better off dead? And I thought about it and thought about it, and I thought, no, I'm here for a reason. Something made me fight to stay alive.
She didn't know it then, but 14 months after losing her hands, a new reason to hope at Duke University Hospital.
This is a complex procedure that only few places in the world are able to perform.
But would it work? Deb's story continues.
The woman who is going to donate her hands to me is alive right now and walking around and doesn't know. And I pray every night for her and for her family.
17 months after a severe strep infection forced doctors to amputate Deb Kelly's hands and legs, she's placed on the transplant list to receive 2 new hands.
Oh, it's so good to see you.
Duke hand transplant surgeon Dr. Linda Sandalis and a 40-person team will perform Deb's operation as part of a clinical trial.
I know that you got a call today.
I know. We got a call first offer today.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, we declined it. You know, it wasn't the perfect match.
The perfect match would come more than 2 months later.
Dr. Sandalis told me she's talked to you already, so you know we have a donor for you.
Yes. When I got the call, I thought, okay, now this is really the beginning of the rest of my life. I know that sounds trite, but it's true.
Deb and her sister arrive at Duke ready for the operation.
I'm so excited.
The first of its kind in North Carolina. After first getting sick on Easter of 2017, her life would change again, this time on Thanksgiving Day.
A gracious family donated the limbs of their loved one for her.
14 hours later, Deb's sister Michelle gets her first look. Her excitement matched only by Deb's own joy.
Oh, I can push up my glasses. Yay! Kind of.
Yeah, there you
Yes. Oh, that's exciting. My first task. There you go. Pushed up my glasses.
Less than 2 weeks later, she leaves the hospital headed for a rehab facility.
That I have hands that move and that I can feel them. I can feel the muscles. I don't have any feeling yet. That takes a long time. But I have hands.
Hold it. Try to hold those two. Keep them there. Forward the wrist. Lift the fingers. Lift the thumb.
Okay.
Good.
It'll be 2 weeks tomorrow, and I'm able to move this.
For the second time in 2 years, she begins months of therapy. But this time, instead of learning to live without hands, she is relearning to live with them.
Bend your fingers. There you go. Keep going. Go, 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 go. Try to hold it. Hold it. Keep it there. Keep it there. Keep it there.
Her entire body strains with the effort to move a finger.
Nice.
But she embraces each moment, constantly conscious of the reason she is here.
Before I went into the OR, I said a quiet little prayer to myself for the family. You know, terrible thing for them, but you know, what a wonderful thing they did for me.
And every day she does a bit more.
To just see her, how her life changed, because her life changed. It's not only rewarding for me, but for our entire team.
Her fingernails are growing. So is her confidence.
I am forcing myself to do more. And sometimes I spill water and I drop things and, you know, but it's part of it.
Her perseverance is something that we have all learned from.
And Deb, whose morning routine looked like this not so long ago, finds victory in something as simple
Must layer lipstick.
as putting on makeup.
It feels great.
It still isn't easy, but for her,
I need to be independent. I need to be able to do things myself.
it is everything.
I'm just blown
Such
away.
an incredible story.
It is, and you know, Deb says that amazing is a word that's overused, but I think it is perfectly appropriate in this case. It truly is.
And you said her attitude has just been
It's
amazing.
Incredible. I mean, from the moment, from what she went through to getting through the surgery, her attitude has taken her through it all.
I have so many questions. Hopefully we'll get those answered.
Something made her fight, and you could see that in her smile. Whatever it was in her smile.
And this is not the end. We are going to continue to follow Deb's journey. Her ultimate goal is driving.
I'm so looking forward to this journey. So Maggie, thank you for sharing it with us.